Already
101
live.
Reason.
Hey, I want to welcome our podcasters. You're on the Legal Podcast, and we have a person that has been involved in legal for so many years. We could almost call her an attorney, but we're not because we like to make it affordable. See, affordable is a key word. That's why we both have had this since 1998. So 1998, subtract that from 2024, that's 26 years. I've kept it for 26 years and Wanda's kept it for 26 years.
Yes.
If it's not any good, you get rid of it. But I can give you story after story after Bob Leonard has come to my attention, come to my help to bail me out of court. Many times. Hope Bob doesn't mind me mention his name on the podcast. If he does, we'll get a letter. But hey, well, I have legal protection, so I can always use my legal against him if he minds. Okay, let me get back to the podcast. I'm Podcast Pete, and I have a guest, which you're going to see on a regular basis, Wanda Pearson. So, Wanda, introduce yourself, who you are, what you do, and who you serve.
Well, my name is Wanda Pearson, and I am actually, likely, Pete said, I'm a marketing director with Legal Shield, IG Shield and Small Business. And we've been in, because it's sort of value in it, we've been in it for, wow, it'll be 26 years, Pete. So we were actually 1998 when it was prepaid legal. So,
Yes.
yeah, prepaid legal. And I saw the value in having it because it's peace of mind, and protecting your legacy as well. So that's very important. Um, what I do is help people get, that legal protection they deserve. Now, a lot of times a lot of people don't know it exists. So this is why we're out here letting people know that it does exist for an affordable cost. And I call it $1 a day, $1.50 a day for your business, your legal plan and business. But it actually helps you be able to call a law firm, not a lawyer, but a law firm in all 50 states to have access to any kind of unlimited advice, consultation. I don't know if you know how much, well, I'm sure you know how much a lawyer costs, right, Pete? To pick up
Oh, yeah. So let's get in. I want to get back to a story because I think it's pertinent for our business people. I
Mhm.
was in business with a gentleman back in 1990, and we had somebody that decided to sue us. Well, I don't know if anybody's familiar with the cost of a loose lawsuit, or it doesn't matter whether you should be sued or not. Anybody can sue you.
Mhm.
And usually 9 times out of 10, maybe there's 1 out of 10, the person with the most money wins.
Yep.
So that person sued us. Now, the only thing I could do, because I didn't have the money to defend, is declare bankruptcy. So that was the only way I could get this pain in the rear to go away. And I
Mhm.
think we don't realize in business that we can be one lawsuit away. We always think of the general contracts. We think of the things that we need on a regular basis, but we don't really look at lawsuits as something that can really destroy our business. And I think I want to ask you, Wanda, we've 26 years we've been involved with having that protection. And I always tell people I have legal insurance. You know,
Mhm.
why do you
Right.
have that? Well, have you ever looked up an attorney, how much they charge? Well, it's not like a day, it's not minimum wage. These attorneys make money. They make lots of money. And I want to give you one other example, and then we're going to get into the small business part. I was driving down South Cobb Drive. This was probably 20 years ago. And a motorcycle turned in front of a person. The person hit the motorcycle. I see this guy flying absolutely through the air. It was a big bang.
Mm.
Now, she happened to be a senior citizen. So, you know, maybe she didn't see him. I don't know. But I was the first person at the person on the ground. Fortunately, he landed between the sidewalk and the
Wow.
curb, which he was a big man. I mean, this guy had to be at least 6'5". So he hit in a soft spot. Well, you can fly through the
Mm,
air and hit on grass. It's not, the ground's not that soft. But anyway, so I'm helping him while, the 911's being called, and we're doing everything we can for him. He's obviously in shock. In about 5 minutes or less, this person shows up with a bow tie, white shirt, and he's got a
wow.
pen and pad. I'm going, what the heck? He's not an EMT. I know that.
Right.
And this was an attorney that was on the scanner or whatever they pick up these things. He was on the spot seconds, I mean, minutes after this tragedy happened. We commonly call them ambulance chasers. And
Mm,
it's real, and I saw it. So I was like, holy mackerel, this is what they call an ambulance tracker.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so all of a sudden, he's gathering all this data, talking to everybody there, building a case against this lady
Hmm.
who obviously, when you're a senior citizen, there's certain things that are your immediate reflexes because I live in a place, so I know. But I was amazed at how these attorneys gather business. And it was just an eye opener. And that was back 25 years ago. So when prepaid legal came into my picture, I was going, I've been sued. And now I've seen how lawsuits get created. I said,
Hmm.
for me to pay a little bit each month for 26 years, well spent investment because you're
Hmm.
protecting. So I want you to kind of talk to the business owner. Maybe they've been in business for a couple years, they built up some good assets, and all of a sudden they want to keep protecting their assets. How does it work? Like if something is simple, like I want to have somebody review contracts. Give
Right.
lawyers an idea of like, I have a contract I'm about to sign. What do I do?
Yeah. That's a good question, Pete. So basically, we have the home-based business, which means that you have the legal plan, like Pete was telling about some of the benefits of that. But also, you have the home-based business, which actually gives you that unlimited advice, consultation, and research. A lot of people, I'm sorry, a lot of small businesses, home-based business, small business, don't call a lawyer because it's not affordable. But being affordable with our services, it actually gives you that unlimited advice, consultation, even research. If you have a business idea, let the lawyers do the research because sometimes we're not all lawyers, right? And we don't want to call a lawyer that's higher than what we expect to pay. So calling that law firm to get a business attorney to be able to review a document, and I always said never sign a contract without a lawyer reviewing it because there's little things. I've had a lot of my clients that have signed contracts, didn't know what was in the contract, and then they got them in trouble. So making sure that you get document review. They review it. Actually, they review 4 documents a month, and this is in a home-based business, up to 25 pages, as well as now you have a someone that owes you. So you know how long it takes for you to write a letter, debt collection, trying to collect your debt. Well, they also do letters and phone calls on your behalf. They will write that demand letter to that person that owes you the money, or if you have a situation with, let's say, if you have a situation with your landlord, you're leasing a space, or you have a contractor if you're the home based business that you need someone to actually step in. And Pete, when you get a letter from an attorney, a law firm with all those different names on the law firm, right? What do? You get scared. Oh, let me pay this person.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody's not playing around. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story because my daughter was at UGA and she was involved, renting a place from a single landlord, maybe at a couple. But anyway, he wasn't the most accommodating landlord.
Mm-hmm.
So when it came to refunding the deposit, he wasn't very
Yep.
responsive to that. And it's easy to say, okay, it's 500, 1,000, whatever. It
Mm-hmm.
cost me more. for a letter than it is the money I'm retrieving. So you just
Yeah.
write it off. And landlords, look, I love landlords, but some of them, bad apples are always out there. And if
Yeah.
a landlord knows that they can take advantage, if the landlord's not ethical,
Mm-hmm.
which not all of them are, not all of them are like that. I'm not saying that.
Mm-hmm.
Look,
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying is that protection gives you the power. And I think that's what I've always felt over 26 years is
Yeah.
I have a legal team that
That's right.
I can leverage and use at any time because anybody that's in business will say,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
build your team. You got
Yes.
to have your CPA. You got to have your bookkeeper. You got to
Mm-hmm.
have your fraction. You got to have all these different people, but
Mm-hmm.
you also have to afford them. So,
Yeah.
if you had an attorney on retainer like standard, they're not going to retain you for the plans that that Legal Shield provides.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, if you're a big business and you can pay 500 an hour, more power to you.
Yeah.
That's you've earned that. You've earned the right to pay because
Mm-hmm.
you've made the money to be able to afford that. But not everybody's in that category.
Yeah.
If you want to become a big business, I think you have to think like a big business. You have to say,
Yeah.
if I'm going to grow, like I was on a podcast with some business people, and it was a fractional executive podcast. Now,
Mm-hmm.
fractional is a key word in business because you take a fraction of what it would cost to have that expertise. And
Yeah.
you almost have to do the same here. You have to have a fractional legal team that
Mm-hmm.
costs you a fraction of what a normal attorney on retainer would cost you. So if you're growing, you only grow if you're wise with your money and you
Mm-hmm.
protect yourself. And if you're not willing to do these things, these are when the time, like if your receivables get too high,
Yeah.
cash flow suffers. Cash flow is king. And if you cannot manage your cash flow in a way that you just you helped me download the new app. Now I know
Mm-hmm.
it's not new, but I've been wanting to get it. So
Yeah.
it took me
Yeah.
through helping me get up to speed. I mean, that's awesome because
Mm-hmm.
right at my fingertips, I feel like I have prepaid, Legal Shield right there. It's
Yeah.
kind of like my fractional app of legal protection. When you think about it, why wouldn't anybody pay a fraction of
Mm-hmm.
what they would have to pay? And I think it gets down to education. So let's go through. I want you to kind of give us three things
Mm-hmm.
that if you're a small business owner and you want to protect yourself, where can Legal Shield come alongside that business owner? Give us
Mm-hmm.
three. We'll talk about them too, but give us the first thing that you think would help our small businesses succeed.
Okay. So the first one is if you are in brick and mortar, as a small business, is to have that attorney review that lease. Okay, because now I was talking about that as far as earlier, but review that lease to make sure that everything that's in there is for your benefit, protecting your legal rights, right?
Mhm,
Um, the second one is if you're thinking about expanding your business, let's say you're a home-based business, you want to go into to grow your business. This
mhm,
is something where you talk to the business attorney to let them know what are your thoughts, and that's where the research come in because they will do the research for you.
mhm,
Um, and another one, and actually probably is more. Another one is making sure that your business is set up the right way. Let's say you have an LLC, you're a sole proprietor. Talking to that attorney to make sure that you're set up in compliance. And when I talk about compliance, also we have the IRS attorney that can make sure that your taxes are in sync with what you're doing. Let's say you're working from home and you may want to branch out to that small business plan. That is something that our law firm can help you with as well. What's the best thing to do this. So the good thing about it, and I want to mention this too, Pete, is that when you do have a home-based business, because actually Legal Shield has expanded, the home-based business is actually with the legal plan, protecting your family, but
Hmm.
the home-based business covers up to 5 businesses. Let's say if you have a business, 2 businesses, they actually cover up to 5 businesses where you can call the law firm and talk about each one of those businesses. And you or your husband or partner have a business. So that is a good thing for an additional cost of 50 cents more a day, with your legal plan. So having access to that, but it's so many others. And the biggest thing is that document review, but also just making that phone call to get that advice and consultation with an attorney, having to be able to talk to them. Um, and it's actually it's a great access to have that law firm in your back pocket. Like you
Yeah.
said, that is your team. That is your team. So I'm
Yeah.
looking at a private chat from my friend here, Abby. She said, "Going to know about the IRS question help." So I don't know if you see that. Um, the IRS question is actually more if you do have IRS. Let's say if you're audited on
Hmm.
your home-based business, small business, you have an attorney to be able to go to court for you. First, if you're notified of an audit, okay, they actually will review your documents, and if it does go to court, they go to court with you. That is included in your membership. So, but basically, IRS, of course, that's taxes, making sure you're in compliance, making sure when you talk to that attorney to have the right documents, right, to have the right information. So I actually had a seminar that included the IRS attorney. And what she told me was never go to court by yourself with the IRS.
Oh
Because
yeah. Oh
right
yeah. They're licking their chops when they see somebody that's not representative, because the thing about anything is the power leverage.
there.
If
Mm-hmm.
somebody has leverage over you, then
Mm-hmm.
that's not the position you want to be in, because they know it
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to exploit it. You level the playing field when you have a person that's knowledgeable, that understands
Yes.
the right questions, can protect you through the things like that. And I think it's a little bit, I'm over here at Overture,
Mm-hmm.
which we talk about wills sometimes, and
Mm-hmm.
people will not get into a will because they don't think that day's going to come. And I
Yeah.
don't know too many people that don't have
Yeah.
an expiration date, because we all
Mm.
have,
Oh,
we just don't know when. But
exactly.
there's been, and I know, I don't remember, I think it was one of the Supreme Court justices didn't even have a will. I mean,
Mm.
I want to say Warren Burger, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that person passed without a will, and you think
Yeah.
somebody in that business would see the
Yeah.
value of it, but they don't, because we don't want
Yeah.
to believe that our day will come here on it.
Absolutely.
So we
Absolutely.
kind of like, I don't need one. I'll be okay. But no, you
Mm-hmm.
won't be, because without a will, there's all kinds of problems, because
Mm-hmm.
especially if you have money and the kids are fighting for it, you throw money on the table and man,
Yeah.
ugly things happen. It's just the fact of
Yeah.
life. So if you have if you want to protect or I remember somebody say, if you love your loved ones,
Mm-hmm.
get a will, because take all that off your shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
Mm-hmm.
hey, when you pass, it's not the best day for your kids. But
Yeah. Yeah.
don't put the burden on them and say, you guys figure it out, because I wasn't willing to take the time to get a will. Now, just so our viewers know, because we were not, this is really small business, but small businesses wills too. What does prepaid, what does Legal Shield
Mm-hmm.
provide in the standard part? Because I know the answer, but I just wanted to
Mm-hmm.
ask you, because
Mm-hmm.
some of our
Mm-hmm.
viewers may not.
Yeah. Yeah. As far as the well,
Yeah, do you get
yeah.
what is provided for under the plan? Not, I know there's the business part, but let's just talk about that aspect before
Mm-hmm.
we.
Mm-hmm. Well, and actually, I every put a great question. We have one of our friends in there, and she said, "Yeah, things pass naturally to their kids. They think that. Okay, so me being in leadership for so many years, I've had so many stories with that, and that's not true. That's why and we talk about small business as well. You should have your small business in the will, because who you going to will it out to? So back to
Yeah.
your question. Yeah, back to your question as far as what's included. You get the living will, the advanced directive, healthcare power of attorney, durable power of attorney, all of that and more. And that's that we call it estate planning. Now, a lot of people say, well, I want to get a trust. Well, I've talked to our managing attorney at our law firm, and he said a lot of things that people want trusted is already in your membership that you're getting with that estate planning. So when I go to the doctor, Pete, what do they say? Do you have a healthcare power of
Have
attorney?
a directive. Yeah.
Do you have an answer? And I get a lot of people that say, I don't need a will, I don't have anything. And I have to tell them, yes, you do. You have your legacy. I mean, mainly just the will itself pays for your whole year of membership, because you're getting that, because with that advanced directive healthcare power of attorney, you have everything in place, because so much is happening today in this world, and we're not promised tomorrow.
Hmm.
I had a young lady that said, I'm not going to die soon. And my brother died at 49 years old. I just had my brother who died at 60, just had a birthday. He had legal shield, but he never got his will done.
Hmm.
So that was pretty tough. And I kept saying, "Did you do your will? Did you do your will?" So yeah, but no, those are some of the benefits that you get with that, and that's just one benefit. Some of the other benefits that you get with your uh, membership, as well as if you decide to add on the home based business, you get so many benefits that I talked about earlier with the
Hmm.
with the plan. So it's protecting your legacy.
Yes. That's the protection of your legacy, because we all want to, when we put our head on the pillow and pass, I think it's like you want your life to have mattered, meaning impacting your kids and the next generation requires you to do some things today
Mm-hmm.
that will set that legacy up, and
Yeah.
being intentional about getting that healthcare directive, being
Mm-hmm.
intentional about putting that will in, updating it as things change, because
Mm-hmm.
things change in your life. You can't have had a will 25 years ago and then
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden you've changed and married three different people over that
Yeah.
time.
And
And
have
now
kids.
you're looking at where is all this going to? And you haven't updated. It's like, dang.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
don't, because it's out of sight, out of
Mm-hmm.
mind thinking. We don't want to believe that our day will come when we're not going to be here. And so if you're intentional about
Yeah.
putting these things in place, I never really understood a healthcare
Mm-hmm.
directive till about maybe 5 years ago. And
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not 25 either.
Yeah.
So but you're not aware of what you're not aware. I mean, you don't know what you don't
Mm-hmm.
know. And I think what we want to do here is help people know
Mm-hmm.
what their options are,
Yeah.
help people grow their business, protect their business, do the things that will help them go from a small business to a bigger business. So
Absolutely.
Wanda, I want to be respectful of your time. So tell us how people can get a hold of you.
Yes, they can get a hold of me by sending me actually sending me an email. Wanda
Okay.
Pearson, WandaPearson at att.net. I have other emails, but that's the shortest one there. And also my phone number, 678-761-5781. And our website. Check out our website, which is Dennis Pearson, DennisPearson dot legalshield.com. That way you
Awesome.
can actually see our whole website and see all the different services that we do offer with Legal Shield. My passion, Pete, is to make sure that everyone is protected. By it being so affordable, I want to make sure that everybody's protecting their family and also protecting their business. We have
Absolutely.
so many things that we can actually help you with. But contact me first and we can actually go over and I do that free consultation with
Yeah,
you.
to talk to, and the
Yes.
meter's not running when you call Wanda. It's not like,
No.
okay, 10 minutes, that's an hour, because
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
way a lot of times
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
And hey, look, I love it. No, I don't. I don't love attorneys. I like some because when you get burned, I have
Mhm.
one thing to say that I thought just kind of speaks to the ability to have people. You said 50 states. So traveling, going through a speed trap, what May
Mhm.
is down in Florida, not knowing that that speed limit went from 45, 50 to
Yeah.
25 like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And I tell you, getting a speeding ticket in a small town is called income producing revenue for that
Yes.
small town. So if
Yeah.
you want to go back or write a big check because they
Mhm.
know that most people are not going to come back and represent them. I know when I
Right.
got it, I called prepaid legal at the
Mhm.
time and they represented me in a
Yeah.
different state. So that always kind of gave me a power of knowing that, yeah, I shouldn't be speeding, that's for sure.
Mhm.
But sometimes you make those mistakes, and
Yeah.
mistakes cost you money, not only in the money you pay, but the aggravation because you're thinking,
Mhm.
without it, you're thinking, what do I do? Do I pay this X amount of dollars or do I go down there and
Mhm.
represent myself?
Yeah.
Well, most of the time you don't because your time's more valuable.
Yeah.
So anyway, I want I want our viewers to know that this time, 1 o'clock on Friday, you have
Mhm.
legal questions. If you will share this with people in small businesses, let them know that there is services that can help them go from a small business to a big business. Because
Yes.
if you don't protect yourself and you don't know what your rights are and you don't know what you don't know,
Mhm.
then you can get in trouble from the standpoint of empower yourself for a
Yeah.
little bit of money each day. It's like an investment in you and your business. So Wanda, what would you say as we close down? What would be the one thing that you want our viewers to take home with them today?
Well, I want to make sure that they know you have a plan. We have a plan that actually can give you that affordable legal consultation that's tailored to you and your business and your family and needs. Like I said, it's affordable, but just having to be able to have. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, Pete, it includes your family, your husband, your partner,
Mhm.
children under 26 years of age still living at home. So you can have we had a customer that had 10. It was two and her and her partner, and then her the kids. So having access to a lawyer because and then you talk about the speeding ticket. Have an attorney to be able to go to court for you, not you by yourself, is so valuable. So I always say make sure you're protected, um, and get your will done. I'm looking at my girlfriend said, yeah, your will, get your will done, but that is included. So definitely protect your legacy, have peace of mind with our services, and I definitely can help you.
Thank you, Wanda. And before I also want to, I was looking at you said I can see that.
Yeah,
Is it Liver
Evie, Evie,
Evie
yes,
Liverman Fleming? Thank you for listening and thank you for your
yes.
questions. We appreciate you on there. So I want to give our viewers, if you know of a person that would be a good guest for Wanda's show, I want you to get a hold of her, or you can go to podcasterpkane.com or call me and say,
Mhm.
you have some insights. You have something that you would like to share with our audience. Because right now I want Wanda to come on our fractional executive call podcast because you're you're in it, you're like a fractional attorney, a fraction of the cost. We want to bring affordable resources to small businesses so you can go from a small business to a big business.
Mhm.
And Apple didn't become big overnight. They worked at it. They got big. They did the right things every day. And all of a sudden, before you know it, they're worth a few dollars. So thank you, Wanda. I appreciate you on this Friday afternoon coming and being with us. And thanks for our viewers for being part of it. And I love the comments too. Let me go back. I think one, oh man, Wanda, oh, a lot. You got some people that appreciate you. I tell you, I love it.
Yeah.
And that's more than just your husband, Dennis. Dang, that's pretty good.
Oh, I have some great clients, and Evie is one of my great clients. She believed in me when I started networking, so I appreciate it.
You have some good friends. I tell you, I like it.
Thank you, and thank you, Evie.
Okay. Thank you so much, and have a good weekend. Thanks for listening. Please share this with people you think can benefit by listening.